Morning, folks. So I just had a thought. If the people who want equality want it equal to the patriarchy, then the equality they want is the patriarchy because they love it. If that's what they want equal rights for. Like, think of it this way. If women want equal rights, the equal rights of the patriarch, of the man, then they must love those rights for the man. Because it tends to be seen as the white patriarchy. It's not a separate patriarchy, is it? So the non-whites who want equality for the patriarchy, same equation. They must love the idea of white patriarchy and aspire to have that equality with the white patriarchs. But what they fail to understand is there is no white patriarchy. But nevertheless, it still doesn't undermine the fact that their heart must yearn for equality with the white patriarchy. And therefore there must be an admiration, a love of. Otherwise, if they're wanting to change that for an equality that's different from what they're saying that they want to be equal to, then that is something completely different. I'm just following the trail, trying to be accurate in the understanding of what's wanted, so that the answer can be returned in a fashion that's amicable, favourable, beneficial, positive, so it helps, so it's constructive. Whatever critiques need to be critiqued, they can again bring productivity. So if I wanted, for example, equality of a different standard, then what would my rally call be? Well, it wouldn't be to change what I was aspiring to be equal to. If I was not equal to it, it would be to keep it the same or better, so that my equality was raised. If that makes sense. I think it does. It's a bit of a, I'm undialectifying the dialectic, if that makes sense. Because obviously the dialectic is the way the narrative is being constructed. So unraveling the dialectic and making it fair, and get this, I was in court some years back and the judge said, we want fair, it needs to be fair, to me as the defendant. This was in a civil case. Now I didn't know, but Shakespeare in Macbeth said fair is foul and foul is fair. So you hear about all this fairness. I was just reading a book from Harvard. I can't remember the theme of the book. Critical thinking, that's right, critical thinking. And before you've even got out of the introduction, it's on about, Germany. So it deliberately misquotes Goebbels, as is often the case with the famous quote, maintain a lie long enough and the lie becomes the truth. He was talking about the Soviet Union. He was talking about Stalin and how Stalin does politics. And the big tell, and I'm drifting slightly off the topic, the big tell is that these German people were not stupid people. They had critical thinking. Now, this book on critical thinking is talking about how to be fair in dialogue, in discourse. Well, the way it's structured, and when you understand the dialectic, what it's saying is that unless the certain someones are happy with the outcome from the discourse, then they're going to cry and cry and cry, or kill and kill and kill, which is what they do, until that which is opposing their fairness, their narrative, is removed. So it's not about discourse at all. It's about wrapping up a polished turd, presenting you with the wrapped up polished turd, and when you open it you go, that's just a polished turd, mate. And they go, oh no, 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 that's fairness, that's discourse, that's this, that and the other. And it isn't. They'll tell you night is day and day is night, black is white and white is black, and that's being played out. So I was just thinking, I've had conversations lately with people who are talking about equality, and from their viewpoint that they've explained to me, it actually doesn't ring true, the equality as they understand it. So I was wrapping my head round, well, how is equality to be understood? Well, it starts at the patriarchy, and even the patriarchy in many ways is a misnomer, because the patriarchy stands for the family, the father being the head of. For the nation is the family, the head of, the king, the emperor, you know, the lord, the count. It will always come back to nature, will always favour the male because of the biological needs of the family unit, of the need to breed. The male doesn't need to take care of the children in the pregnancy stage. The male needs to provide for the mother in order to lead. I mean, it's self-evident. Again, you know who will tell you, oh, it's not like that, it's the male who is pregnant, and all this garbage. So I just thought I'd express my thoughts on that, and it might spark some ingenious thinking, you know, as a seed of a thought trail, because I think it's an outstanding argument to bring to those who want equality, because obviously the equality that we all want is, how to say, is normal. You know, there never was no inequality. It was the people who were telling us that we need equality who were acting unequal to everyone else, and they still are, and they still will. There'll never be equality with these people. But what I'm saying is that in order to bring the argument to the public, you know, with the counter narrative, there's now a method to realize it maybe in a different way. I haven't heard it constructed in this way. Maybe it's already been fathomed out, I don't know, but that's just my thought. They love the patriarchy. Okay, thanks folks. Hope that wasn't too long-winded, but I hope I get a good point across. Cheers.